to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising,
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's preview of the Newcastle United versus Chelsea game, which is, of course, a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday afternoon. You will be able to get full commentary right here on this channel. We will start the show at 2:30 p.m. And, of course, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. We're back as a 3 tonight, only just. Of course, I wasn't feeling too well the other night. Alex is... Well, man flu has taken over completely with Alex, but he is here. Are we fresh, Billy? Are you feeling fresh?
I'm fine, yeah, absolutely, superb, top 10, and all that carry on.
Top 10, good stuff, good stuff. Now, obviously, if you haven't seen today's earlier video, please go and watch that after the show. Little bit of a rant about Jamie Carragher in his comments about Newcastle United, how they shouldn't be allowed to go and loan somebody like Ruben Neves because of the mistakes they made over Tonali, which is crazy. But you know, they will all have this. They're all trying to jump on the bandwagon now with Newcastle United. It's clear to see. And I mean, Carragher's no one to talk about making mistakes, Billy.
No, and if he really wanted to scrutinise Sandro Tonali's private life and habits to that nth degree, would have had to employ bloody MI5 to do it. It's something, you know, addicts keep secret, the fact they're addicted to something. Absolutely no chance of God's earth that would have come up. Any due diligence anyone would have done on him. So absolute nonsense. Just a load of jealousy, really.
Of course it is. Of course it is. By the way, guys, if normal rules, if you do enjoy tonight's show, please do give it the thumbs up. Keep those likes coming in. Let's see if we can get about 300 or 400 likes tonight on the show. Just take 2 seconds just to hit that thumbs up. And also, if you're new, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Come and join this amazing community. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we schedule these live shows or we upload any recorded ones like the ones earlier today. You can, of course, become a member of the Toon Review by hitting the join button just underneath the three of us. And you can donate to the channel, like Len Simmons has just done $4.99. Thank you very much. He's hit the $ at the bottom of the live comments, and you can do the same, guys, if you do so wish to. Thanks for $4.99, Len. Hope you're feeling a lot better, my man. I am, Len. Thank you very much. It was just Parkinson's issues. I wasn't feeling great on Tuesday, but Alex and Billy did a fantastic show talking about the vote and how it impacts and things like that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great debate, to be honest, a great talking piece. Keith Dites, thank you for donating 10 Toon Review memberships. That's incredible generosity. Those that have been lucky to get them, Niall Powell, 2 Scoops, Ant Acid, George Boyle, James Pope, Roadrunner 29, Gordon Shrexer, John Sinclair, not the other John Sinclair, and Clarkey and June. You've all been given a month's Toon Review membership, which you can, of course, extend if you do so want to after your free month is finished. Keith, thank you very much for that. That is very kind, my man. And also, happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers and subscribers. Hope you're having an absolutely brilliant day. Spike, good evening to you. Jan says Carragher should go and multiply himself, all this because he knows the Toon is coming and there's nothing he can do about it. Gary says, I wrote a list of all the players who haven't been linked with us. It was quicker than writing one with the ones who had. Yes, indeed. It seems to be everybody at the minute is having that issue. Julie J says, Matty's having a battle with Cara right now. Yep, I know Matty did a video about it earlier on today as well. And I don't think Carragher took it too well. But I haven't heard from him. So, but that was part of the Daily News. It wasn't just a rant about Carragher. There was other stuff mentioned there. Ian Spoons, are you going to the match on Saturday, Paul, mate? Not at the minute. Not the way I'm feeling. I'll be doing the commentary with Billy again. So I've contacted the disabled box office and seen how I can pass my ticket on to somebody, to be honest. But with it being an ambulant one, I don't know how it works. Irani Granny says, petition to get Jason Tyndall added to the countdown screen. Justice for Jace. We did have him on there when we first did it, but there's so many bloody... Lascelles isn't even on there, I just noticed. So, it does need slightly updating, I guess. Sounds like there's mounting injury list amongst the TTR ranks. Indeed. I mean, Alex, you've been barking like a dog all day, but you've battled through it. You battled through the man flu.
Well, no days off, I'm afraid. Got very busy. Got lots to do. It's fine. It is what it is. I will be iller than this at some point in the future, so I will just make sure I will cash those days in and have days off when I'm very ill. But it's tolerable, so we battle on.
Yeah, absolutely. Irani Granny says, haven't Liverpool been caught hacking into scouting software of Man City, paid them 1 million compensation? Don't know anything about that. But if that happened, then Kenny says, do we need to ask him how many times he oh dear me, I'm not reading that. Dear God, Kenny. Southern Geordie says, so we can't loan Neves because of Tonali's ban. Oh, I see. And I thought this vote wasn't aimed at NUFC. Tosses. Yeah.
You got to remember he was part of the squad that all ran around wearing shirts in support of somebody who sort of, with the whole racist abuse thing with Suarez. Exactly. There's no leg to stand on at all. Yeah. Personally, I think this is all made up. I think he's doing this as a bit. I think Jamie Carragher, to a point, is a clever man, and I can't even. There's no way this is true. There's no way this is his actual standpoint. Defies all logic. It's insane. It's nonsense. There is no way that he actually believes that. I feel like it must be for the show and for the debate. They've got to have different people on different sides.
It's a Sky narrative, Sky. It's a Sky narrative. It's
got to be. Yeah, it's got to be. I feel like it's got to be that. I lost a lot of respect for him when he spat at that girl years ago out the car window. But he's been again, it's been very difficult for me to be kind about him, but he's improved a lot as a pundit in the last couple of years, and I just feel like he's cleverer than that. There's no way he actually believes it. Surely it's got to be a bit. He's not a stupid man. He's been in football for his whole life. Surely it's got to be a bit. Can't be true.
Keith has gone and donated another 10 memberships, guys. That's 20
Keith.
Memberships. That's incredible.
Brilliant.
Mark Cooper. Marco 7918, Mr. Reactions, Wagner, who else we got? Scotty Viva or Vivs, Christina Grant, Taz Music, and Sean Foy, all gifted memberships by Keith Dites. Kevin Moody, thank you for signing up the memberships. Jason Vout, you've got a free one, as has Wes Fullerton. Thank you so much, guys, for that. That is incredible generosity. And we have another $4.99 super chat from Ian A. Ian, thank you very much, Ian. Sorry, Alex. Carragher and Clearer should never be used in the same sentence. Tense. Okay. I see what you mean. Mark Jones, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, evening all. Thanks again, Paul, with the mental health chat. It was heartwarming and very positive all around. Thank you very much, Mark. Really do appreciate that. Right, let's turn our attention. Oh, Ash says, hello, everyone. The Daisy mug is mint. Thank you, Paul, again for the cup and key ring. You're very welcome. Of course, Ash was the one that had to go and see to her mum when she'd won the original prize. But she explained what had happened, and we sent her something else instead. Ian Skinner as well. I will be surprised if new signings don't have a cancellation clause in new contracts for any misconduct, either criminal or FA enforced. It's an interesting one, Billy, because, you know, how careful will teams be in future signings, especially teams like Newcastle. Yes, Ash, I keep forgetting you are a male, not a female. I do apologize, but it's an open world these days, isn't it? Billy, when you look at new signings, are these teams going to be, worried about signing players to see what's next around the corner? Do they start putting things into the contracts?
Of course they do. It's the natural kind of step, isn't it? We've been stung for a year's football from a player we paid £55 million for over 5 years. We only get 4 years for it. So it's common sense, really, to kind of induct these kind of clauses into contracts, and it should hopefully stop it all down. But you're right about it. It's a different world these days. That's what my Uncle Margaret used to say all those years ago.
Yeah.
Can I just mention something as well? There's definitely, I understand it's a talking point, the Tonali thing and the Tony thing. However, I don't think it's anybody's place in the general public to be talking about what level of punishments people should be getting and whether the club should be, considering we've got players with whether it's accused or convicted of paedophilia, rape, battery, assault. There's been a plethora of all of that in the last decade. Mm-hmm. Whether it's convicted or just charged or false. Any of the above, it's not our decision as the general public and fans to be saying what clubs should be, whether clubs should be punished and what should be. That's completely down to the legal system and to do with the governing bodies. So for pundits to be coming out demanding this should happen, that should happen is nonsense. That's overstepping a line there. It really is. It's not. We're fans of the club, and I don't feel like it's our business that once it's gone that far. It's got to be dealt with correctly by the book. Like it's out of our hands at that point. I don't know if anybody agrees, but
yeah,
no, I agree.
Absolutely, of course. Ian A, thanks for another $1.99. He's basically said Carragher and clever in the same sentence. Obviously,
But this is the whole point. This kind of loaning from parent or affiliated, associated clubs. Why did he pull out the Tonali thing? Why can you pull out something?
It's weird, right? But who are Brentford's rivals? I don't know. But Watford? I'm trying to think of who would be a Brentford. Whoever Brentford's rivals are, that's like rivals of Brentford saying, "Oh, Brentford should be punished because they didn't know about Tony." Like,
that's what I said. Yeah,
like it's just drawing a random line in the ground about. It's just weird. It's just none of his business. It really isn't. You can talk about it, but don't start demanding this should be punished and these people should be punished because of reasons. He's just some random pundit. Like, it's got no relevance.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it? It has none at all. Simon says, reckon Bruno and Big Joe will be up for this game on Saturday and will want revenge on Fernandez after that brutal game against Argentina. Of course, Joe Linton sent off for what I can only describe as a shocking decision by that.
I watched the whole game. Rodrigo de Paul acted like a complete and utter fanny for 90 minutes. He got 2 yellow cards against Brazil players. And then he got the ultimate with Joe Linton, and neither of them were, it was ridiculous. I don't know who refereed it. Daniel Galtieri, I think. It was ridiculous the way it went on.
Well, they definitely look. I didn't watch the whole game, but Argentina definitely looked like they played as if they weren't the better team.
They went for a point and got 3. It was one of those kind of games, But Bruno's played both the last 2 games, come off after 72 minutes on Wednesday. Is he going to be fully fit for Saturday? He's going to be knackered. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's going to be another one of those, isn't it? When, look, it's going to be a tough game as it is. Chelsea found a little bit of form. But again, Sean Longstaff wasn't pictured in training. Obviously, he was expected to miss this game on Saturday. Does that open the door for Lewis Miley to start, Alex?
Well, with Joe Linton played 80 minutes for Brazil and it got sent off. It was wrong.
10 minutes.
Oh, was it 10? Oh, I didn't even realise that. I thought he was on for 80 and got...
No, come on 72, sent off 82.
Oh, he played 10 minutes and got sent off. He's fine then.
He didn't play the previous game either, I don't think.
That's fine. No. Okay, so Joe Linton's fine. So just Sean then. Potentially, yeah. Bruno, Joe, And Miley depends on Willock, and if Willock plays, if somebody starts wide left, but you don't drop Gordon, it depends on obviously the forward line. Obviously Wilson. I mean, I'm sure we'll get to that later on in the show, but with Wilson confirmed out and Isak possibly returning, it depends on what we do with our forward line. Like it starts at the front and we work our way backwards, basically, because everything we play depends on who starts up front. Because if Gordon has to start up front, that means it will be Willock or Joe Linton wide left, which then frees up a space in midfield for Lewis Miley. So it very much depends on who's available. If Isak's available, then no. Possibly not, but he'll be on the bench at least, and he might be used at some point in the game. So we need to make sure he's ready, and it's very possible we see him. It just depends on who's fit and ready.
I mean, obviously, we'll see what's asked to Eddie Howe tomorrow. I'm not expecting anything, new breaking or anything like that, newsworthy, because of the questions that get asked continually in an Eddie Howe press conference, Billy. So it's going to be hard to get out. The right questions aren't asked to him anyway, but he's certainly not going to give anything away for Pochettino, is he?
In this case, we don't want him to. We want it to be as secret as possible, really. We don't want them knowing that Isak's fit or not, because they can kind of suit their side to kind of acclimatise to that. So, no, I think it's very cloak and dagger, more so than usual, actually. And I'm good with that, if I'm perfectly honest. I don't want them getting any advantage over it. So, yeah, keep stum for once. They'll probably ask the right questions tomorrow.
Yeah, they will do.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, to be honest. But it is going to be a tough game, Alex, simply because of who we've got missing. Plus, Chelsea seem to have found a little bit of form recently. Of course, the last game was a tremendous 4-4 draw with Manchester City, which was a really good game. So this one is not going to be easy. It's going to be a very, very, possibly a very attacking game both ways.
I mean, it depends on us. It depends on how much energy we can bring to the game. But this is, I mean, with what I'm about to say, it's probably going to be a 0-0 now. However, this has got the makings of an absolute classic, because if we come back from this international break and a lot of our players are up for it and we're ready to give a passionate and energetic performance in response to the Bournemouth game, and our lads are fully at it, I fully expect Chelsea to be exactly the same. They have found form and a bit of rhythm. It takes time with the amount of signings and changes they made. However, they've got a really lovely balanced team, a nice format, nice style. Obviously, Colwill got injured, which is a big thing for them. It probably means like Kukurea or somebody might have to come back into the side. So not quite as they wanted it, because Colwill's absolutely incredible. But, Caicedo and Enzo in the middle was a double pivot. Cole Palmer's gone in there, added an extra dimension. He's got that cheekiness about him. He's got that little England. He's got a little bit of Grealish in his head, but in a different way. He's very cheeky. Jackson's hit form. We saw him early doors. We saw him in pre-season. We thought he's dangerous. He beats the offside trap. He's quick. If he can be clinical, he's going to be deadly in the Premier League. He started off slow, but he's got a lot about him. And they've written Sterling with his experience as well. They've just got a lot. They've got a lot of quality. They've got so much to come back as well. And I'll let you break off because Keith's just done another mad one.
Keith, you've just donated another 10 memberships. That's 30 memberships tonight. That is that is generosity. Incredible stuff. Peter H, raised, Paul Murray, Mark W. Let's see who else. Shane Abbott, Connor, Diminishing Return, Tony, Doug Hall, and Joe Linton, all donated memberships by Keith. Thank you very much, Keith. And that is incredible. What a guy! What a absolute gem to the channel you are, Keith.
Hero.
And looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks when you come over as well. Billy, if Isak doesn't make the game, obviously that's a big blow for us. It's been very quiet on Isak, to be honest, over the last couple of weeks. Obviously not with Sweden. He's stayed here, but it has been very, very quiet on him. Is that good news or what do you reckon?
I think so. I think it's excellent news. I think he'll play Saturday. And whilst that was correct, Chelsea have clicked going forward. They're still conceding goals for fun, and I think that's where we get at them with Isak and Gordon and Almiron. I think we can score goals against these. Whether we can keep a clean sheet or not is a different kettle of fish, but we can certainly score goals. And I think Isak in that middle part of this centre forward role, I think it's going to be key to all because Thiago Silva hasn't got the pace he used to have. He's nearly 40 now. Still a fantastic player, but not got the pace. They are vulnerable at the back.
I'm just looking at their squad list as well, and just the turnover.
Do you want to? We'll have a look through the Chelsea stuff, Alex, if you've got it there.
All right. Well, I'll put it up as I'm doing that. A little quiz for you. Name the three keepers in the squad.
In the Chelsea squad.
Yeah. I dare you. I'll challenge you.
I can't remember who the first goal is. Christ. Is it Kepa still?
No, he went to Real Madrid on loan.
Kepa's gone.
So Sanchez, who they bought.
Robert Sanchez, of course it is, yeah.
And who are the others? Nobody knows.
Hell.
The turnover is just absolutely mental. So,
Marcus
I'm surprised anybody
and who else?
Played for Fulham, didn't he?
Georgi Petrovic.
Serbian, Bettinelli.
Never, ever have got the Robert Sanchez, yes, but the other two. Not a Scooby-Doo.
Let's quickly fly through this while I've got a voice. Injured. I think injured. So lots of injuries. We will look at their previous lineup, but Reece James is fit and firing at the moment. Malo Gusto is an option. Thiago Silva's been playing. Cucurella will likely come in for the injured Colwell. So they've got options, but they are limited somewhat. You're going to see, so Lavia is injured at the moment, as is Chukwuemeka. So we'll likely see Enzo and Caicedo, I would imagine, unless they play Conor Gallagher as part of a double pivot, or maybe they match us formation-wise. They might, you never know. We'll see what they do. And then forwards, it's going to be Nicholas Jackson up front, with Sterling likely to be on the left and Palmer on the right, but they do have options in Mudryk, and Kunku's not back yet. I'm not sure what's going on with Madueke, if he's still
on Kunku. They're keeping stumble on Kunku, mate. They haven't said if he's definitely out. There was talk that he would be back, but I think the only place he could be would be the bench, wouldn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
He won't be match fit. So, excuse me, guys. In terms of actual data for them this season, Conor Gallagher with his 4 assists and Jackson with 6 goals, spreading the goals around, although Cole Palmer's 4 goals, I'm pretty sure, are all penalties. Anyway, team statistics. So, how are we doing, Chelsea? Goals conceded, 1.3 per match. So, they're not doing too bad. That is still the 6th best in theory. Well, 7th if they're joint top. 8th for goals per match. So, again, they're performing like a sort of top half side. The XG is actually 2nd in the league, 25.6. So, they're putting up some really good XG. Underlying numbers are really positive for Chelsea. The points don't necessarily reflect that. Possession's not too bad. They are controlling games. What else have we got? We've got shots on target is not too bad. Where is the XG conceded? So XG conceded is also really good. Again, underlying numbers are really tidy for Chelsea. Possession won in the final third per match. They're top. That was us and City last year. So underlying numbers, Pochettino's building something. They understand that they're playing as a unit. They're getting there. It's taking a long time, but they are getting there. But it has taken a lot of money to do it. This was their last 11 in that funny Spurs game, in which obviously Spurs just capitulated and got players sent off. So you've got to take this with a pinch of salt. However, this is the general setup of them is the back 4. So Colwell's going to be out injured, so likely to see Cucurella come back in. So I would imagine it'll be a similar back 4 with Cucurella. Enzo's gone off injured there. I think he's available though for tomorrow.
He played on Wednesday.
Yeah, so he should be fine then. So I would imagine it'll be this same sort of front 6 here. It will be a double pivot of these two, of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. And in front will be Sterling, Gallagher, Cole Palmer with Nicholas Jackson up front. Obviously, the variables being Madueke possibly coming in on the right-hand side. You've got Mihajlo Mudryk coming in on the left. And then if Nkunku gets any minutes in the second half, or maybe, who knows, maybe come straight in for a start. Unlikely, but yeah, so those are the options. So it's going to look something like this, I would imagine. Maybe 1, possibly 2 changes. I'd be surprised if it's any more than that. And we can't really take too much from this game because it was an absolute just mental game. It was Tottenham playing with reckless abandon. So the average positions in the data aren't too useful to us, but you can see the average positions show that it's obviously Nicholas Jackson is the furthest forward, with Sterling pulling off the left, being just behind him, which, doing Sterling things. You've got Palmer wide left, Conor Gallagher operating sort of more centrally. And then where Yeah, so Gallagher there. Where's my So Sterling's gone up there. So it's not really a 4-2-3-1. It's really not. But I'd take the positions with a pinch of salt purely based on Tottenham getting players sent off. So this is not how they're necessarily going to look against every team. But it's a solid squad. The average age profile at 25 years old. They have sorted it out to a point, and they're playing a lot better. Their underlying numbers are getting a lot better. But as Billy mentioned, they're not the best at the back. There are issues. It's definitely exploitable.
And they played City after that, didn't they? So that was the Monday night game. Then they played City on the following Sunday, didn't they?
Have we got another game that we can look at? Have we?
Yeah, it was a City one before the international break, Alex.
Let's have a look then. You'll have to excuse my dying. There we go. 4-4 draw with City. So let's have a look at this one. Let's open it in a new window because we get a nice big view. There we go. There you go. So there is the injury. So there's Cucurella. So this is basically the predicted lineup. I would say it's probably going to be this.
Yeah.
With possibly a change.
I can't see him. I can't see him making any changes from a side that's just drew 4-0 with Man City, and actually probably deserved to win that game. If I'm honest, they played very well. So I can't see Poch changing that.
So Sterling was actually furthest forward in this game, with Jackson just behind. Conor Gallagher, Palmer. Yeah, so it kind of almost goes into a wonky 3-3-4. Sort of a funny, it breaks down into sections. It almost looks, dare I say it, kind of like how we look sometimes in average positions. Although Cole Palmer in this position would typically be Miggy, who is normally a little bit further up. But this and the 23 would normally be where Bruno would play for us. Would be a little bit further. Maybe it's not too dissimilar. So I feel like they've got a good team and a good shape to be able to match us. I think it could be a really interesting game. Not, it's a shame because I feel like if we'd have, in that horrible opening cluster of matches where we had to play City and Liverpool, it would have been a lot better if we could have played Chelsea because I think we'd have absolutely played them off the park and destroyed them. Whereas now, we're injury hit, they've got their act together. So it's going to be a far more even game, I think. But it could be a very exciting one for us and for neutrals. But obviously, we'd rather just have the 3 points generally. So, but we'll get what we're given, I guess. Just fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, Conor Gallagher, I'm still not sold on him, to be honest, as much as so many people seem to be. However, he can cause a problem, can't he?
He's impressed me the past couple of games, to be honest, Spurs and Man City. I've got to be honest, I'm not a fan of his, but against Spurs and Man City, I thought he was very good. As a creative source, not just as an energetic one. So I'm kind of changing my tune to Stato's hymn sheet.
Say that again, Billy. Sorry, I didn't.
I'm kind of changing my tune to Stato's hymn sheet. It's only on a 2-game kind of thing. He was really good against Man City, to be fair to him. But I've not been a fan of his before. He just seems to be a bundle of energy to me. But as I just said,
he profiles again. We've seen it before. He profiles very like Willock and Joe Linton in that regard, and you can see it in elements of his game when he has a good game.
I mean, the thing is with Conor Gallagher, when he's got a decent run in the side, whether it be when he's been out on loan or with Chelsea, he seems to, do better once he's got going. And we can say that about a few Newcastle players this season, can't we? The likes of, Bruno took a while, Longstaff took a while to get going. So, it's the same with any player, really. I mean, look, Chelsea's been a shit show for a couple of years, and Poch is trying to come in there and stabilise everything and try and work out of all the players within that squad what his best 11 is. And it is very, very difficult. He's stuck, as you can see from Alex's graphics there, he's stuck with the same or similar team now for a few games running. And I think he's starting to develop that understanding with the players about what he wants. The players are starting to understand what they need to do on the pitch as well. So I actually think we're coming up against Chelsea at a difficult time. Yeah. I wished we could have played them a few weeks ago and, they were losing games left, right,
but this is the same. I think we came up against Bournemouth at the wrong time. We could have done with Bournemouth back when we had players because we'd have done to them what we did to Sheffield United. I'm positive.
Jamie Brewerton, welcome to Members Club. Thank you for signing up, as well as Ronan Tyrrell. Thank you very much, Ronan. Welcome to members clubs. We will have some member giveaways tomorrow night on Face the Lads. We've got some more prizes to give away. So Face the Lads is on tomorrow night, the fan interaction show where we get you on separately to talk about Newcastle United. You can still take part in the show in the chat, of course, as well. And we will be giving prizes away tomorrow to our members. So if you're interested, then get signed up to the membership, guys. Billy, we all knew that Poch would eventually turn things around. He's too good of a manager not to. He'd have come in and looked at Chelsea, or even when it was confirmed that he was coming in, he'd have looked at that squad and thought, Jesus, where is my best 11 coming from this amount of players? So it was always going to take him, a while before he could get a stable team together that understand what he wants.
Yeah, I think they've kind of won the lottery with him, really. He's a terrific manager, Pochettino, one of the world's elite. They've really won the lottery with him. And I'm amazed it took him this quick, actually, to find it. Because you've got about 60 players to pick from there, with all the signings that Bodie's done over the past year or so. Mm-hmm. It's come together quicker than what I thought it would, if I'm perfectly honest. I thought it'd take him to at least Christmas. But now he seems to have a good attacking side. He'll tighten the defence up, and they'll be, in years to come, a challenging side, no doubt about it. Brilliant manager to get. Pity they couldn't get him before that. Pity he didn't stay at PSG and they still had someone crap, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah, and I mean, look, he's got some good players there. And even when you've got the likes of Nkunku coming back from injury, Nkunku was a fabulous player, a really good signing for Chelsea, actually. But obviously, he hasn't been able to get going, has he? But if he's on the bench, what a boost that'll be, Alex.
What, for Chelsea?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was signed. He was one of their biggest signings of the summer originally. He's enormous. Like, obviously, I watched a lot of Leipzig last year. Well, I watched a lot of them anyway, even before we were linked with Szoboszlai, because Leipzig are just a good team to watch. Mm-hmm. However, I watched the last 2 or 3 games and the cup final with Leipzig, and Szoboszlai and Nkunku together just ran the show.
Yeah, they did.
They
were incredible.
Nkunku is so good.
Yeah.
He's not just good. He's elite. He's elite. He's one of those players that he's always part of teams that are getting to sort of the quarterfinals and semi-finals of the Champions League. He's at that level. Receive a forward pass and do a Rabona or a back heel to play someone through. He's just got that. Whatever that is, he's got it. And and it's a shame we've not been able to see him in the Premier League and appreciate it quite as much. And I feel like, it's positive for Conor Gallagher because he's been able to get minutes. I think he'd have been out the door if it wasn't for early injuries, which is great for him. But yeah, I think it's good for football that Nkunku is back, but probably not great for us because Chelsea, as Billy said, I thought it was going to take a little bit longer than this. I thought maybe closer to Christmas. Before they started clicking, I thought they needed a bit longer. They haven't
turned the corner completely yet, have they? So, there's still, they may come up.
I think when you look at the underlying metrics, they absolutely have. Because the underlying metrics suggest that if they keep doing what they're doing, they'll be fine. They'll get the points. Over a long period of time, statistics always win.
Yeah.
They are performing at that level, and it's fine. Fair enough. They conceded 4 goals. It's Man City. Look at some of the results we've had against City in the last few years. We've done well to keep the scorelines down, and we've had to put in a Herculean effort to keep the scorelines down. To only concede 1 to that Phil Foden ridiculous goal was madness. But a lot of teams really struggle with that, and our defense and cohesion has been better than Chelsea for the last 2 years. Yeah. They'll definitely be crazy good. They'll be fine. It has clicked a lot quicker though, which is frustrating for us because now because the season's not really gone. It's not too far away from them. They're on 16 points. We're on 20. Very retrievable for them. If they go and win 3, 4, 5 games on the trot, they're in the top 3, top 4. They can start pushing. So they're quite lucky it's clicked so quickly. And again, it is down to Poch. It really is.
He's he's proven to be a very good manager over the years, and I think he is everybody that what he hasn't done is panic, and he's obviously been told he's got time to change it around, and it seems to be happening. But if we turn to us on Saturday, Billy, full-back positions again. Obviously, there's going to be no Dan Burn, no Target. What does he do? Does he play Livramento, or does he put Kieran Trippier left back, Billy?
Well, Lewis Hall can't play either.
Lewis Hall can't play, of course.
For me, it's Livramento because he's got some sort of a left foot all day long.
I mean, well, we don't know about Trippier yet, do we? Because he came home from England with personal reasons. I think he'll play. Don't get me wrong, but hopefully that'll be confirmed tomorrow. But you're not sure about Trippier left back, though, Billy, and neither am I, to be honest. And it would make more sense, surely, to play Livramento, who, as you say, Billy, has a left foot and can use it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And that right hand side with Trippier and Miggy's a big attacking sense for us, and if we can kind of recreate that with Livramento and Gordon on the left, I think it's a good standpoint for us. I'm perfectly honest. The fact he's got a left foot, it's got to be a left back all day long, day long.
I mean, Alex, where do you stand with the full back situation? Do you agree with what Billy said there?
I don't think it's as much of a problem as Billy thinks it is. But I do agree. I think I would prefer on the balance of it, I'd probably go Livramento left, Trippier right. I agree with that, but I don't think it's as much of an issue. But I would rather have, I think we get more attacking benefit from Trippier on the right, so it makes more sense to do it in that way. I would agree. So hopefully he does it that way. But I feel like, again, if it's not working, though, Eddie Howe's been quite happy to change it. If it's not worked, he's moved them, he swapped them around. So I've got full faith if he tries something because he believes it's going to work. If it doesn't work, I've got full faith that he's going to swap it around. He's evolving as a manager, because I remember 12 to 18 months ago, we were all complaining he wouldn't make these changes because there were things that weren't working in games and we wouldn't see a change. We don't complain about that anymore. If things aren't working, he makes changes. He swaps wings, he swaps fullbacks, he moves things around, he brings a player back into midfield, he puts someone. He's quite happy to change it if it's not working.
However, playing devil's advocate with that, Alex, what me and Billy noticed, certainly against Bournemouth, was players change their position too often, where they just couldn't get going. Now I know Bournemouth was a write-off.
That was personnel and tinkering and. I mean,
we can't do that too much because
he's a great manager, but he's not perfect. He's still going to learn. He's still going to make mistakes. It's it's normal.
I mean, it didn't work, Billy, doing that, did it? It was sort of, Joe Linton coming forward, Anthony Gordon going left, and then back in front. There weren't, and what I mean by that is it was for just really quick fire periods, Billy, wasn't it? It wasn't like for long periods of time where 10, 15 minutes, give them a go. It kept changing all the time, and I think that's what. The players were spent anyway, but it was just everything that we tried didn't go well.
Trying that, maybe because he knew we were spent. He was going, sod it. We need to be creative here and confuse them tactically and positionally. Otherwise, we're not going to win. Maybe that was the whole thought process.
He swapped Trips and Livramento twice in the second half.
He kept rolling the dice and it didn't work. Right.
Yeah, I mean, Trippier was just having a mare wherever he was playing that day, so it didn't really matter. But the Gordon one and the Joe Linton one didn't make much sense to me. And again, it's the same old thing. We were hitting the channels when Joe Linton was playing up front, and then as soon as Gordon went up front, they were lumping in crosses for him.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
French for Hendrick. I'm sorry. I have actually got Nkunku up on FB ref. If you just want to,
I think he's joking, Alex. It is a runny granny, and I thought that was quite funny.
Do you mind if I just actually share, being as I just called him elite? If I just show you Nkunku very quickly,
absolutely, yeah,
because he is bonkers, by the way. So just to back up my claim that this guy's elite, because not many people have seen him. So he's just turned 26. Obviously, he was 25. He was injured. There's the data for him. So it is only 640 minutes, but he does this consistently. It is elite at everything. Take-ons, whether it's progression through passes or carries, his passing percentage is absurd. Shot-creating actions, so actions that create shots for other teammates, he's in the top 1%. Assists, top 1%. Shots total, top 6%. Like the guy is absolutely elite. Similar to Rodrigo, Boniface, Mbappe, Lewandowski, Benzema, Messi. It's
you know what the tactic should be? Then get some ultra strength, industrial strength super glue and put on the bench so you can't get off it.
Yes.
I mean, this was 20 starts last year, 16 goals, 4 assists. He was 20 for 20 basically last year, and then the season before, 31 starts. 33 goal contributions. So he's in the last 2 seasons, he's had more goal contributions than starts.
Unbelievable.
Which is in.
I mean, look, when you see, I mean, I'll now compare all that green to Ant Acid's loft. You don't see that much green unless you're in Antacid's house in the loft. It's incredible.
That's him against Isak, by the way. And I appreciate Nkunku's more of a false 9-10 deeper, but that's considering how good Isak is. That's mental.
Alex, I still can't believe you haven't relaunched Google Chrome to update it yet. I mean,
yeah, I know.
You just press that button and it loads up all the tabs anyway, straight away that you've had open.
The weekend.
You don't lose anything. King Hoddle says, who's got the bigger injury crisis, Spurs or Newcastle? We've got 8 missing for Villa, including Van der Ven, Romero, Basuma, and Maddison.
We've got about 12, haven't we? 13,
I think we were about 11 or 12, but then I think we're getting a few back.
Yeah, that's true.
This weekend, so it's probably.
I mean, Maddison's the big miss for Spurs, isn't he? I mean, the way he's started the season.
I don't think you can count all of your red cards. That's your own fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
The injuries are a bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, the long-standing injuries. No, I mean, Van der Ven's out till January, isn't he? Maddison's beginning end of December type time, so it's not like 2-week jobs for him. Shame.
Mr. Spoon says he wants to see Tino on the left. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going as well, simply because of what Tino can do on his left foot. I think it's, his passing ability on his left foot is better than Trippier's. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Keith's wondering if Manquillo is on a long-term injury. I believe he is injured.
Kraft is available, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I can't see Manquillo ever coming back into the reckoning. But then again, we've said that about Emil Kraft, haven't we? So you just don't know. Simon says stick Livermore left back. He might get into Euro squad for 2024 at left back. Hey, that's not a bad shout. That that's not been over the top, Billy, is it? I mean, he's genuinely that good.
Gareth Southgate hasn't picked a left back for about 6 months now. So since Ben Chilwell got injured. So, yeah, it's not out the realms of impossibility at all.
Lawrence says hopefully Kraft gets some minutes as well, especially as he can't play on Tuesday. I think he'd be on the bench, absolutely, but I don't think he's in Eddie's Premier League starting unless it's a real crisis and we have nobody. Lascelles and Cher will start for me. I saw somebody in the comments earlier on saying they think Botman will be on the bench. I can't see that, Billy. I can't see Botman being there.
We don't know how he is. The last thing we heard was he was going to have a training session if his knee didn't swell. He's all systems go, but we don't know what's happened with that training session or anything. So we're in the dark. That's one question I wouldn't mind the pressman asking about Sven Botman tomorrow, because we're still in the dark about him, and he's been injured for 10 weeks now.
So there has not been a lot of talk about Botman at all. Similar to Isak, really, but maybe we'll find out a bit more in the morning when Eddie does his press conference. But I will be reacting to that video. There'll be a video out round about lunchtime tomorrow, having a look about what Eddie had to say. King Hoddle says, I'd love you to beat the Chavs, and that's Snake Pochettino.
I mean, you sacked him. You didn't leave of his own accord.
I was going to say, didn't you sack him? And didn't Spurs fans want him back? I'm pretty sure you did. I know, going to Chelsea, but, you're not going to turn that down, are you? There's no route back to Spurs. He's get offered a job at Chelsea, one of the top jobs in the Premier League. I know it doesn't seem like that at the minute, but it is. You're not going to turn that down, Billy, are you?
Well, after what Spurs did to Poch, after what Poch had done for Spurs, Champions League finals and all this carry on, for them to sack him when they did, I thought was wrong. He should have had way enough credit in the bank. So why would he want to go back to that kind of regime? I wouldn't if I was him, and he hasn't. Simple as that.
I agree 100%. I think you've been very harsh, Mr. King Hoddle. Dean says, I want to rejoin again, but I struggle to navigate to the payment. Can anyone help me, please? I think you just click join, don't you? There's a join button just underneath us, Dean. All you need to do is click that, and it takes you through step by step.
It might be an Apple, mightn't it?
Yeah, they've sorted that, Billy.
Have they? Oh,
yeah. Apple sorted that out, so it should all just be a seamless, straightforward procedure. Lost in thoughts and calm in silence says Billy is the GOAT.
So that's meant to be some kind of pun.
I don't know. I think it's a compliment. I think, Billy.
Well, I'll take it as such. Bah.
Paul Tully says Trips will have a phenomenal game on Saturday. He's always revved up for these games against top sides. Yeah. Yep, he's played very well against the top sides. Milo says Alex without Data is sad. Data without Alex is sad. They both love each other. Indeed. I don't know who this is, but you've put a laughing emoji every so often in the comments, and I don't know why. It's a bit weird. Explain why. Milo says, at the worst of the crisis, we've had 13 injuries. Yeah. Lawrence says, suppose it's only 2 weeks until we play Spurs. Well, yeah, Spurs will want a little bit of revenge, I think, in that game. It's fair to say. But depends who we've got playing. Let's be honest. I think players will be coming back. Milo says, when is Botman due back? I have no idea. Adam says, if we play Trippier left back, I don't see us winning the game. It massively diminishes our attacking play and threat. I agree, Adam. I do agree with that.
There either, to be honest, he's not great defensively there either.
No, he's not. Nowhere near as good as he is. Listen, it for me, it's obvious that Livramento can play there, and I'd be really surprised if Eddie doesn't start Livramento at left back and puts Trippier there. I'd be very, very surprised, because I think we've got a certainly attacking and defensively, it's stronger left-hand side with Livramento playing there.
Having said that, he might think that Trippier is more capable of dealing with Palmer as what he is Sterling and his pace. So he might think Livramento on the right's a better option for defending. I don't know.
He's talking himself out of it again.
Billy, you keep doing this, and he pounces on it as soon as you start the waver slightly.
It's a good point, though.
You know he's there like a bloody lion with a piece of meat.
I was thinking about Mudryk more, to be honest. If Mudryk plays on the left-hand side for Chelsea, I mean, Livramento's probably better. Yeah, he definitely need Livramento for him.
Ronald says that's a typical Spursy response about Pochettino. Yeah.
Well, yeah, good. When he is good.
It was sent as a compliment, Billy, apparently. So there you go.
Thank you.
Can I just mention as well, we're back to the days of Miggy's going to be the only left-footed player in the entire starting 11. We need to buy more left-footed players. I've been saying this for a long time. Who else is left-footed that we can play apart from Dummett? You say I've seen a few Dummets in the chat. I know he played well at centre half, but we can't expect him to play to that level all the time every week. Like, it's not fair on him. He will make mistakes and everyone will turn on him. But who else have we got legitimately that can play? I mean, and if anybody types Matt Ritchie, I'm walking out.
Hey, well, he's left-footed, Alex. You asked for left-footers.
He's been solid. He can give about 70 minutes sort of in further roles if he's not asked to do a lot of running, and he's solid, but not a defensive role, especially not against Cole Palmer. Imagine Richie, the poor guy, and then Madueke gets subbed on after about an hour. He's got absolutely no chance. Not a chance.
Yeah. I mean, look, Raheem Sterling, a lot of people have mentioned him in the chat as well, saying that he could be a danger for Chelsea because he likes scoring against Newcastle. He does. But look, Raheem Sterling's finding a bit of form now, Billy, as well. And he has been expected to be called back in the England squad in the last 2 occasions. But then again, we know what Southgate's like. What do you think of him lately? Is he having a good season, do you think, Billy?
Yeah, it took him time to settle at Chelsea, but obviously when I've seen him play this season, certainly the past month or so, he's been very, very good. Yeah, he's great against Spurs, good against Man City. He's a quality player, isn't he? He's a world-class player. I'm amazed he wasn't in that last England squad, if I'm perfectly honest. Amazed.
Yeah. Left-footed players are better than right-footed, apparently. Bit of a strange one, that.
Depends how you measure it.
Lots of people saying Matt Ritchie now, Alex, in the comments.
Yeah, I know. That was just a while ago.
Yeah. Jamie says, I'm left-footed, Alex, and I'm available to play for free. Yeah. Listen, I would pull on the strip for free anyway. I think any of us fans would do that.
Absolutely not. I'm fucking shit. I don't want to play for Newcastle. I'll play for Sunderland.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
60 own goals.
What, you'd actually pull that strip on, Billy?
Yeah, sent off after 90 minutes after scoring 6 own goals. Yeah, of course I would.
Wow, okay. The Wolfman says, "Oh my God, I used to work with Alex." I mean, that's obviously not the Wolfman. That's him out of Gladiators, isn't it? I don't know who the Wolfman is, Alex. And then Ian says, "What? Alex was a gladiator?"
maybe in my dreams.
Well, I mean,
I'm still trying to think about. There's the we're arguing now between there's people definitely thinking about either playing Richie or
no.
But there are people who are thinking that, and I'm just thinking, right, since the takeover, how many defenders have we signed since the takeover that we're now still considering them two as a starting option at left back? Like, how many did we actually sign? We signed Botman, we've signed Livramento, Hall, Target. Who else are defenders that we've signed? Who's new? Is that it? Have we only signed 4 defenders? Surely we've signed more than that. I mean, we were quite saturated.
Murphy, I guess. Alex
Murphy, that's 5.
Yeah.
He was kind of more of a youth product. He was just very good.
I mean, he wasn't picked in the under-21 side the other night either. So, and he was on the bench for Bournemouth.
He was, yeah. Unless they just said he wasn't fit enough to go.
Played very well in the pre-season tournament left back, if I remember rightly as well. Very well.
By the way, while I remember, Davey Brewis, I know you're watching because you've put a comment in before. All the best for the weekend, mate. Davey's getting married. So all the best, Davey. Hope everything goes okay for you, matey. And have a fantastic day with you and the family. And we'll see you after the wedding. Hope everything goes absolutely brilliantly for you, mate. So have a great day. Just wanted to say that in case I forgot tomorrow night. But have a great day, Davey. And enjoy married life.
Good luck.
Indeed. The Wolfman says, we both got fired from the chocolate factory. Did you work in a chocolate factory, Alex?
You ain't got ginger hair. You got the wrong bloke.
Yeah. I've never worked in a chocolate factory.
Is your surname Wonka?
Definitely not.
It's close, to be fair.
Wonka? Yes, it is.
I'm glad you said that because people in the chat would have thought I meant something else and I didn't.
Yes, I know you. I know, Billy. That's why I said it, because I thought I'm not leaving it like that. But there you go. Right. Abil Tuga says, all my comments makes Alex have a stroke. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah. Incredible. Right. Okay. Let's pick our sides. Let's see what we're going to go for then. Let's see if you agree in the chat with our predicted teams. Alex, we'll start with you tonight. What is your 11 for Saturday?
My 11 or what I think he's going to pick?
No, your 11. It has to... Well, yeah, but what we think Eddie might pick, but, you know, whatever. Just name an 11.
I really want to start Alex Murphy, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pick Pope, Livramento left back, and then Sharon Lascelles as the centre halves with Trippier right back. I'm going with Bruno in the 6. I'll go with under the assumption that maybe if Sean's not been pictured in training, I'll go with Joe Linton and Miley. Why not? But obviously, if Sean's fit, then Sean will play. But I'll go with Miley for the prediction because why not? And then it will be I think Isak's got to be fit. He's got to be. He's not been with Sweden. He's been rested. I'll go for it and go Gordon, Isak, Miggy. We could do with a lineup that strong against Chelsea. And yeah, I'll go with that.
Billy?
Same for that, but I'd have Willikin for Miley. So Pope, Trippier right back, Livramento left back, Cher and Lascelles, Bruno, Joe Linton, Willock, Gordon, Isak, Almon.
Okay. Salty McGuigan, welcome to Members Club. Salty, thank you very much for signing up. And thank you for your ongoing support. I really do appreciate that. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, face the lads. That is our fan interaction show where we will be having more members giveaways tomorrow. Some great prizes. So there will be all for the members tomorrow. Right, my 11 would be Pope in goal, Trippier right back, Livramento left back, Lascelles and Fabian Schär. Midfield of Miley, Bruno and Joe Linton. And front three. Actually, no, I'm going to change that. Oh, crap. Right, I'm going two ways here, guys. I'm going if Isak isn't available, right? If Isak's not available, then the midfield for me will be Miley, Bruno, and Willock. Joe Linton, Gordon, and Miggy up front, with Joe Linton and Willock swapping left positions on a regular basis. If Isak's back, then I think Willock will be on the bench. So at least he has an option here if Isak doesn't make it or can only go onto the bench. So there is an option.
I think the big thing here is Willock over Miley. I think that's what we're all debating here. And theoretically, is that's who gets left out depending on who's available.
Well, yeah, he could go Bruno at number 6, couldn't he? And then.
Well, no, it's a question if he never tends to favour Willock on the right side. Willock is typically poor whenever he plays as a right-sided 8. He's had the odd game where he's been fine, but he's far better out on the left side, as is Joe Linton. They both have mixed games when they go out on the right. No idea why. Very odd. There's no reason why they should be affected by it, but they are visibly. They just have worse games. So whether that influences his decision to maybe play Miley as the right-sided 8, I don't know. But again, Willock's older, a lot more experience, got tons of caps in the Premier League, understands the squad more. Tricky one.
Didn't Willock play there against Chelsea last season at the last game?
Possibly. I think he played 3 or 4 times on the right side.
Another fair game at all, didn't he? As I remember.
Yeah. But it's not all the time. A lot of the time he's poor because he tends to be better when he can float on. He can do a combination of a bit of midfield and a bit of wing play. And when he's out on the right, he doesn't get to do that because it's a very rigid build up with Miggy and Trippier. So he doesn't get to do that as much on the right hand side, which is maybe what hurts. Maybe that's the reason. To be fair, maybe that's what hurts Willock and Joe whenever they go right side is they don't tend to. We've already got that sequence lined up with Trippier and Miggy, and maybe they can't interfere with it. So. Yeah, funny one.
Salty McGuigan says it's an acronym for short-ass little twat, which was given to me when I was in the army. Well, there you go. By the way, guys, we do have more merchandise for you. Now, if you listen to Billy on Tuesday, we obviously have the Christmas lanterns. They are on the website now, but we need a minimum order of 35 for these. It doesn't matter whether they're black or white. We need a minimum order of 35. So if you place an order and we don't get that minimum order, then obviously we just refund you the money. These are available on the website as well to hang from your... Who wouldn't want that on the Christmas tree? Who wouldn't want Daisy and the 3 of us shining from your Christmas tree? There's obviously this one as well, the Christmas star with the Toon Review logo. And just tonight, this is now on the website. We've had lots of requests for this. It is the TTR travel mug. So that is now on the website as well under the mugs collection. So if you want a TTR travel mug and you want it for Christmas, get your orders in quickly because all of these will have to be ordered quite quickly in time for Christmas, guys. So if you do want them, they are on the website now. Paul, what size is the hoodies? They go up to 5XL on the hoodies. So if you want a coffee mug or anything else, get yourself onto the website. thetoonreview.co.uk is the place to go. That's thetoonreview.co.uk, and you can place an order through there, and we will get them ordered and supplied to you as soon as we can. So we've been having a big demand for the travel mugs, guys. They are now available, and they are now on the website. So get your orders in so we can get them placed in plenty time for Crimbo. Right, score predictions, guys. Alex, we'll start with yourself.
I'm going to go with 3-2 to us. I think if it gets out of hand, this could be a crazy game with a lot of goals. I feel like with our injuries and just everything, I feel like we're not as rigid and at the back as we once were. Although we are at home. Although we are at home. We are at home, aren't we? We're at home.
Yes, Alex.
Yes, we are at home. I think having Isak back will be important. I think if Isak's back, I'll go with the 3-2. I'm basing it on Isak playing. I think he will. I expect Isak to get back on the score sheet with at least one. I'm going to go with 2. I'm going to go with an Isak penalty as well. I'll go with an Isak from open play, Isak with a penalty. I think they'll be a bit sloppy with that. I'm going to go with a Miggy goal as well. I think Miggy does all right against them, especially with Cucurella coming in, Silva being a bit old. He might get a little bit of joy there. We'll see. We'll go with 3-2.
Billy?
I'll score a game for me also. I'm going to go 4-3 Newcastle.
Wow. Bloody hell.
Goals.
Scorers, yeah.
Goals. I think Gordon will get 1. Isak 1. Willett 1. And the 1 from the corner.
You said Isak and Ron then. I was like, who's Ron?
Ron? Who? Ron?
Ronnie Pickering. Who?
Ronnie Pickering? Who? I'm Ronnie Pickering. Who? Simon Hooper is the referee, by the way, for the game.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter anymore. They're all bad.
They're all shite,
just irrelevant at this
There's
point.
some very strange score lines coming in. And even my good lady, Mrs. Toon Review, says 5-1 to Newcastle. Mind you, she did say that we would win at Old Trafford in the Cup. And I kind of left the room to do the commentary and just sort of laughed at her. And she was right. So who knows? I'm going 2-2. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I think...
I don't think we're going to win, Paul.
Listen, I have to be sensible as the host
Simon
of this show.
Right?
No. Listen, you know fine well I want us to win, but it's a score prediction. I think
draw at home against the 12th place finishers when we're in the Champions League.
Who are a better team than being in 12th, Alex. You may smirk, Alex. You know fine well what I mean by going 2-2. But I think if Isak does play, it gives us a better chance of winning. I'll say that. So listen, I'm hoping for a great game anyway. But we shall see. Goal scorers, I think that Bruno is going to get both the goals for Newcastle. Ronnie Pickering's in the chat. Would you believe it? 6-0 to Newcastle, lads. There you go. Thank you, Ronnie.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I think if Isak's playing, we've got a better chance of winning, which in itself is a Michael Owen quote. And then you followed it up by predicting...
How is that a Michael Owen quote?
Well, hang on a minute. Let me finish. And then you followed it up by predicting him to score none of the goals and Bruno to score both.
If he's not playing, it's a 2-2 draw, Alex. Think about what I'm saying. So if I'm going 2-2 on the premise that Isak doesn't start. So why am I going to predict Isak to score? You bonehead. Get some night nurse and get some rest.
What are you predicting if he starts? A different score?
3-1 Newcastle. Isak hat-trick. Anyway, let's move on.
Somehow the defence is going to get better with Isak playing, Alex, as well.
So, yeah.
Right, you two can just piss off, quite frankly. There you go, guys. That is the preview, all done and dusted. Like I said, tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Face the lads. The link to join us will be in the chat about 10 minutes before the show starts. Get yourself on for 5 minutes or so to chat with us. And have your say on everything Newcastle United. And also, we are having quite a few prizes given away to our members tomorrow. So don't forget to tune in for that 7 o'clock. There will be a video going up covering Eddie Howe's press conference as well at some point around about lunchtime. But don't forget the watch along as well on Saturday, starting at 2:30 with me and Billy Bob. And then Billy and Alex will be doing instant reaction on, of course, our Patreon page. I will be doing an instant reaction for YouTube. So we've got instant reactions on YouTube and Patreon, which I think will be really good. So thank you very much for your support with all of that as well. But don't forget, merchandise now with the coffee mug, etc. on the toonreview.co.uk. Thank you for all your memberships tonight, guys. All your super chats. You're absolute legends. Keith Dites, massive shout out again. Thank you, my friend, for all of that. Thank you to the Mod Squad. Brilliant as usual. To Billy and Alex. But as usual to you guys out there, thank you for all your support. And we'll see you at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Have a great Friday, everybody. See you soon. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check on some green.